Hi there, good evening everybody, and I want to welcome you all here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here today to do the final episode of the mini-series we've been running on Tuesday nights for the past 6 weeks. This will be episode 6, featuring this band, Thin Lizzy. The final band on the list. Pretty solid band. All the songs that Ben gave me for this I like quite a bit. So my history with Thin Lizzy goes back to about 1980 when I discovered the song Angel of Death. And then, of course, after that, a couple years later, I think it was 2 or 3 years later, I discovered Thunder and Lightning, and then of course once I discovered them I started looking for other Thin Lizzy stuff and discovered that they were the ones that did The Boys Are Back in Town. So all these were good. I had most of them on cassette, on taped cassette songs, but I didn't actually own any albums until I started this channel. And then they were on automatic for me as far as bands go to start buying their discs. And of course, the first one I bought was this one. And I bought now 5 in total. Eventually, hopefully before too long, I'll have the entire discography, which is my goal. So there are 15 tracks here. And so without further ado, what we're going to be doing is what we have been doing on all the series, which is I take the 15 tracks, I listen to them, I rank them from 15th to 1st. So Ben, who is the subscriber, picks the band and also picks the 15 songs, and then I do that. I listen to them and rank them from the worst to the first if you want, or in this case 15th to the 1st is probably a better sound because I like all these tracks. So I do have, like I said, 5 of their CDs. A couple of them I've listened to only the initial day that I bought them, and they have not gotten a full listen to, but most of the other ones I have listened to fairly extensively. So we're going to get underway with this. Sorry, I will apologize. I have to bend my sheet back. I kind of folded it a bit when I was doing stuff. Okay, so the 15th track is called Downtown Sundown. This is off the Bad Reputation album, which I do not own, from 1977. This was, to me, the least of the songs that we were ranking here. I don't think it wasn't really challenged for the worst spot by any of the other songs. I don't dislike the song. It's definitely a passer, but just not as good a song as most of the rest of them. In fact, of any of the rest of them. Nice guitar solo, excellent. It's very cutting. So yeah, that's my my number 15. So we'll move up to number 14, Little Girl in Bloom. This is from the Vagabonds of the Western World from 1972. I believe this was their debut album. Not 100% sure, but I believe it was their debut. I also don't own this one. This one's a little bit different, this album, and this song is a little bit different than a lot of their other songs. Most of the songs are storytelling, and this one has that in common with them. This one has a bit of an eerie opening with some keyboard, like almost a synthesizer part. And then there's a little bit of a psychedelic feel to this track. Nice solo on it. Pretty solid song. So number 13 is going to come from Fight or Fall. This is off the Jailbreak album, this one. This one was my second album purchased by them. For obvious reasons, had Jailbreak, which was one of my favorite songs. But this song, Fight or Fall, very good. It's one of the back half songs on the album. It's, of course, very story-like, as so many of them are. Slow, melodic track. I like it. It's pretty cool. Not one of my favorite tracks on the album, but I do like it. For a deep cut, it's quite strong. Okay, so next up, my number 12. The Freedom Song from the album Fighting, which is this one. It's a new one for me. I've listened to bits and pieces of it, but haven't listened to its entirety yet. But it's pretty strong. The Freedom Song is the second last track on it. It's a little bit of a shorter song than some of the other songs on the track, but on the album, but still pretty solid. So with this song, it's kind of melodic, slow, poppy, and hard at times. I would call it a poppy hard rock track, or maybe a pre-power pop track, or whatever you want to call it. Pretty decent track. I do like it. So it's going to come here in at number 12. So number 11, we move up to the King's Vengeance, which is also on the same album by coincidence. This one is kind of the beginning of the back half. Good solid track, but I found it to be a little bit poppy, so that's part of the reason why I think it came down a little lower than probably would have before. I find this album was not as heavy as some of the other ones. So next up, in the 10th spot, as we continue our move upward, so in the kind of this second, third, I guess you might want to call it, That Woman's Going to Break Your Heart. Yes, that's off Bad Reputation from 1977. I don't actually own this album. I did listen to the track. I found it catchy, with a nice kind of poppy part in it as well. Pretty decent track though, and of course another story. Like most of the songs are, they're kind of a story. Up next is number 9, Spirit Slips Away, off of Fighting. This one seems to be on a bit of a roll here. Spirit Slips Away is... It's funny, it says Fighting. Where is it? It says Fighting, but I don't see it here. Oh, here it is. Now I see it. Sorry, it's just under King's Revenge. King's Revenge. I think I call it King's Vengeance, but it's actually Revenge, so I apologize for that. So the Spirit Slips Away. A good track. I think probably of the three, I like this one a little bit more. Basically, this is got a nice solo, very heavy, dark. This song actually feels a bit proggy at times. For Thin Lizzy, that's pretty strong. So one of the more proggy songs, and probably the most proggy song on this list for sure. So it's going to come in at number 9. So number 8 comes off Nightlife, which I don't own, from 1974. Pretty catchy track. It's Only Money is the name of the track, off of Nightlife. Pretty strong, nice catchy track. Nothing outstanding or special, just really straight ahead rock. I like that part about it. Next up in the number 7 spot is The Hero and the Madman, off of Vagabonds of the Western World. Kind of a similar thing going on here with it as the other one that we did off of this album. Another story, like kind of a catchy riff. There's a vocal part and there's also a voice part. There's kind of a narration going on and then a singing comes in. So yeah, definitely very story-like. The Hero and the Madman, number 7. Number 6, Soldier of Fortune. This is off Bad Reputation. I do not own that one either. That's from 1977. Kind of a bit of a melodic opening, followed by a catchy riff and a nice Thin Lizzy solo. Typical Thin Lizzy solo, pretty heavy. Nice, really good song. So the next track, now we're in the top 5. So the next track is It's Getting Dangerous. That's off Renegade. I don't own that one either, from 1981. A nice, heavy, catchy riff. The vocals strong here. Another story like, almost all of them are story like. This one's quite good. A little bit heavier than some of the other tracks as well. Definitely in the hard rock, almost a tinge of metal in this as well. And that's number 5. So for number 4, we're going to move up to We Will Be Strong. This is a track off of this album, the one I posted at the beginning to indicate it was Thin Lizzy. Chinatown, nice album cover. I like it. Very Chinese looking, actually. It's got a bit of an Oriental feel to it. We Will Be Strong is the title, is not the title track. It's the first track on it. Pretty solid track. It gets up here because of its heaviness. I think it's a bit bitey and catchy at times. Nice heavy guitar solo. Yeah, that's the part I like about it. And this album is actually from 1980, so now you're entering into the 1980s. I found their music in the 80s got a little closer to metal than it had been in the 70s. It was more like kind of hard rock with a bit of a pop flavor, and then in the 80s there was a little bit of a hard rock with a bit of metal flavor to their music. That's where I kind of break them up anyways. Number 3 is Get Out of Here. That's off the Black Rose album, this one. I like this cover. It's maybe my favorite Thin Lizzy cover, to be honest. I like it. Just a pretty strong album altogether. And the song I chose actually off here was Get Out of Here, which is I'm looking for it here. It's the 7th track on here. It's pretty heavy. Catchy song. Nice heavy guitar part. The vocals are maybe among his best. I think they're among his best vocals. Really good, strong song. Number 2, This Is the One. This is off Thunder and Lightning. This is the one, the second track in. Comes out right after Thunder and Lightning. So it feels like it isn't a heavy song, but it actually is a pretty heavy song. I mean, next to Thunder and Lightning it isn't, but very heavy with some serious distortion here as well, which is good. I like it. This is one of the better songs on this album too. Definitely one of the best dark, deep cuts on this album. And then the number 1 track for me of the ones he's given me for this list is The Pressure Will Blow. This is off Renegade from 1981. Very heavy track with a little bit of synthesizer parts in here as well. Catchy riff, nice solo. This is one of their stronger, the strongest deep cut that he gave me. It's one of their stronger deep cuts overall. So those are my picks and my ranking of the 15 deep cuts I was given today. I will give you them all now back in the order that from top to bottom. I'm just going to make my notes a little easier to read here. So the number 1 is The Pressure Will Blow from Renegade, 1981. Number 2 is This Is the One from Thunder and Lightning, 1983. Number 3 is Get Out of Here from Black Rose, a rock legend from 1979. Number 4 is We Will Be Strong from Chinatown, 1980. Number 5, It's Getting Dangerous from Renegade, 1981. Number 6 is Soldier of Fortune from Bad Reputation, 1977. Number 7 is The Hero and the Madman from Vagabonds of the Western World, 1972. Number 8, It's Only Money from Nightlife, 1974. Number 9 is Spirit Slips Away from Fighting, 1975. Number 10 is That Woman's Going to Break Your Heart from Bad Reputation, 1977. Number 11 is The King's Revenge. I almost said it again. The King's Revenge from Fighting, 1975. Number 12 is Freedom Song from Fighting, 1975. Number 13 is Fight or Fall from Jailbreak, 1976. Number 14 is, The Little Girl in Bloom from the Vagabonds of the Western World from 1972. And last, and least in this case, Downtown Sundown from Bad Reputation from 1977. So that's my I was about to say Deep Purple. That's my Thin Lizzy ranking of the 15 deep cuts. That's where I wanted to go with this. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you want to rank those songs the way you want to rank them in the comment section, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm curious to see how people, it's not so much how they rank them, but it's what they have to say about the album that are of interest to me. If you want, you can do that or talk about Thin Lizzy or any of the albums I've mentioned, or you can just put your 50 in and be done with it. Please hit the like and subscribe. That is much appreciated, and we will see you all. I'm not sure what we're doing next Tuesday. We may probably take a week off, see what happens after that. Sorry. My voice was drying right out there. I could barely scratch out a word at the end there. Anyways, I hope to see you all next week, throughout the week, and for the rest of this week. So take care, have yourself a good evening, and goodbye here from the Prog Monster.